This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm alright, hey.
And you've made it. You've made your way onto our close friends list drugged up version.
Because you don't put the juiciest drugs on your... Oh, sorry. You don't put... Okay.
You don't put the juiciest drugs on your main story. You do them on your close friend's story. Or if you're fucked up, you accidentally put it on your main story and then you get cancelled, which we've seen a lot of people do. And that's what we're doing today.
Okay. We're unhinged. Look, seriously. Going off the main episode on Tuesday, I said I'd let you know about my gallstones and my gallbladder surgery and how we got here, okay? Mm-hmm. Also, happy Good Friday to all who celebrate.
Yes.
You want to know something funny? I used to go to church.
Did you?
We're already off on a tangent.
Well, I'll tell you what, I used to go as well, but I didn't know that it was church. I went to kids' club on like a Friday afternoon it was like a hall near our house. I used to go with my sister and my stepbrother and stepsister, and it was free. And you'd have like hot food and stuff, and then you'd play games. But I didn't know that it was a church.
But was there a church aspect to it?
No, because it was like, well, yes, it was run by the church, but because it was this really new modern hall, like it just looked like a school hall, I didn't put two and two together and realise that I was going to a church thing. Okay. I literally just thought I was going to kids' club. That's all it was to me.
Well, I was going to church on purpose, and then I forget where I was going with this story.
You used to go to church, and you're talking about Good Friday. Have you ever eaten meat on Good Friday?
Well, that's where this story's going. So I always thought you weren't allowed to eat red meat on Good Friday, and chicken's a grey area, so you had to have fish. And when I worked at McDonald's, fillet of fish went through the roof on
everyone.
Good Friday. Everyone wants a fillet of fish on Good Friday because you can't eat red meat. So I went to youth group on a Friday night, and we always used to go to McDonald's afterwards, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Like, everyone's going to have to order fillet of fish, and what am I going to have? I have to have hotcakes because I don't eat fish.
Hotcakes?
Yeah, which, by the way, as well, another tangent. Since getting my gallbladder out, now I'm like obsessed with fish, weirdly, and I like want to eat fish.
I fucking love fish.
I hate
Fillet
fish.
of fish is my favourite burger, and anyone that says ooh, you haven't even tried it, so shut the fuck up.
I have tried it, and it is ooh.
So do you like fish and chips?
No.
Okay, well that makes sense then, because people that say I hate fillet of fish, I'm like, but do you like fish and chips with tartare sauce? They're like, yeah. I'm like, it's literally fish and chips on a fucking burger.
Nah.
Yes.
Haven't had fish.
I feel passionate
years.
about this.
Like, if my family goes to the fish and chip shop, I'm getting a battered sav. You know?
Yeah.
Scallops.
Yeah.
Potato scallops.
I do love a potato scallop.
Calamari. I'll do a calamari. Don't mind a calamari.
What about a crab stick?
No. I've forgotten again where I was going with this story.
Went to church on purpose.
So basically, we all went to McDonald's afterwards, and I was like, this is going to be so weird because no one can eat red meat. All these motherfuckers ate quarter pounders on Good Friday. All these people at the church, all the youth pastors, the leaders, everyone was eating quarter pounders. I was gobsmacked. I've lived 17 years of my life starving myself on Good Friday because I don't eat fish, so I've got to eat bloody Jats crackers and nothing else while everyone enjoys a seafood lunch. And then they were like, we sin every day, babe. And I was like, oh my gosh. And one of them was like, I'm covered in tattoos. Like, if you ask the Bible, that's bad. So
is it kind of weird that we like celebrate Easter? Like, obviously it's something that we've always done, but you're not religious. Like, I'm not religious at all. And I remember when we were kids, my mum would be like, no red meat today. But we were in like the most non-religious household ever. Like that, no red meat.
Yeah. But it's like, why? Yeah, I agree, because it's different.
Like, why are we celebrating Easter if we're not like religious or like?
I don't know. Easter bunny vibes.
Yeah, but it's just been like commercialised.
Yeah.
Right? Just to make
I don't
money.
celebrate Easter though.
Neither.
Very often. For the last 10 years, I've been like, fuck off with your chocolate. I don't need chocolate. Fat people don't want chocolate. Well, I can't speak for everyone. But for me, I hate getting chocolate.
Really?
Yeah.
I love chocolate. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know. Maybe that's my inner child that needs to be healed, and I'm being yelled at from my arm and mum in my head.
The Easter eggs are the best. The Cadbury solid mini eggs that you get in the bag in the individual wrappers, they are the best ones.
I just whacked my knee on the desk.
Oh.
Okay, so I will admit, in the main episode that we just recorded, I wasn't doing that bad. All of a sudden, the 17 painkillers have hit me, and we're on here.
We've got another main episode to do after this.
Actually, I think it's the peppermint tea I've been sipping. It's all going straight to my head. We've got another 2 episodes to record after this.
So hurry the fuck up.
Oh,
Get on with your
God
story
save our
about
souls.
church. Or your gallbladder. You got a lot to say.
So basically, let's tell you the story of the gallbladder situation. So I hadn't told everyone, but obviously we knew about the airport situation when I went to hospital from the airport. You've all heard that story.
Your most embarrassing moment.
Yes. So then, since then, I actually had another 2 attacks at home, which I was able to manage, and I didn't even tell social media. Like, I was just saying, she gave me some painkillers that day and was like, if it happens again, manage it at home with this. So I was able to do that twice. By the way, I know this is so random. Like, I feel like you never really hear about anyone having, like, gallbladder issues. 1 in 4 Australians will have gallstones and have gallstone attacks in their life, which we have 4 people in the room with us recording this podcast right now. It's happened to me. Mm-hmm. So it's much more common than I think people realise. Mm-hmm. And I just think no one really talks about it because since saying I've had to get it out, now all these people in my life are like, oh, I got my gallbladder out. Yeah, I had these attacks as well. But like, I never have known that before. So it's like a much more common issue. So I'm like, you listening to this podcast, you could have a gallstone attack at any bloody time. Oh. And so I'll tell you what the process was for me. So basically the 2 times at home, so it was my 3rd attack, the 2 times at home were fine. The 4th time, I did the same thing as always, but Sky and I had decided that the next time I had an attack, we would call an ambulance regardless, because it seemed to be happening once every 5 days. And I'm about to embark on the national tour in about 5 weeks or so. And I'm like, I can't be round the country, doing a show in Perth and suddenly get a gallstone attack, have to cancel the show.
Are you doing other locations?
Hey?
Are you doing other locations for your show?
Yeah, we haven't announced them yet, but we're going.
I was like, wait, I thought it was just Sydney for now.
No, it's just Sydney for now, but
okay.
I mean, we're trying to you don't understand how hard it is to actually, I'm not doing any of the work, but the people who are sorting it out, it's very difficult to work around the schedule and also lock in dates around the country. It seems simple, but it's not, especially for the venues that I want.
Have you hit up Larimar Pub?
No, I haven't. But on a serious note, my shows, I really am anal about accessibility. So for example, in Adelaide, like we're doing a venue that is not accessible for wheelchairs. So I have to offer another venue that is accessible for wheelchairs, because I have to give that option to my audience. That's important to me. Mm-hmm. But the problem is finding dates that work for both those venues is then, but then the one venue that is wheelchair accessible isn't big enough. It only holds 50 people, whereas I might need a room with 250 or 500 seats or 150 seats, depending on the city.
Yeah.
So logistically, there's a lot to work out. The point I'm saying is we agreed we would call an ambulance because it was happening every 5 days. And I'm like, I don't want to be in Perth about to do a show and have to, 1, either cancel it, or 2, have the attack while I'm in Perth and then have to go to hospital and I'm like a 6-hour flight away from any of my family or friends.
Yeah.
It's very scary and daunting. So I was like, when it happens again, we'll go to hospital and we'll beg for them to take it out. So did that, went in the ambulance. They can never find a vein, whether I get blood taken, vaccine, or cannula in this case to give me painkillers. They can never find a vein in my body. Like, it's just always been a problem for me. So my arm's all cut up because they put in like 7 different cannulas to try and find a vein that worked. And we got to hospital. I got there about 10 p.m. I saw the surgeon. A lot of people saw me, did lots of tests, blah, blah, blah. I saw the surgeon about 4 a.m. He said, we're not going to operate because you don't need it. And I said, what do I have to do to get this motherfucker out of me today? And he was like, well, there's nothing you can do because I can put you on the wait list and your wait list is like 72 hours. But if someone comes in with something more urgent, they just get bumped in front of you. So you might be waiting 12 months. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, I can't afford with my job, yes, I pulled the celebrity card. I was like, I'm about to embark on a national tour in 2 months. So I can't afford to be having one of these attacks every 5 days.
No one can.
I'm like, what can I do? And he, again, was basically just like, your gallbladder isn't inflamed. It's not causing any issues apart from, like, the attacks, which, by the way, people have told me is worse than childbirth. It's excruciating pain. I couldn't even breathe on this 4th attack. And I was like, you can't speak. The pain just overtakes your whole body. So basically, the surgeon was like, you can't do anything. And I just looked him dead in the eyes and I said, I don't care how much it costs or who I have to pay. You will get me a surgeon today and I will pay them whatever it fucking takes to get this out of me today because I'm not going through this again. Oh, as soon as I mentioned money, fucking hell, everyone can do anything they want in the hospital.
They got the reception girl in. She
away
fucking
they
did it
go.
herself.
Straight into a private bed. Pay the excess. Get your card out. Tap, tap, tap. Away we go. Oh, suddenly you pull out your credit card and fucking money moves, people. Money moves. So I got bumped straight up to the top of the list.
VIP treatment at the hospital.
And then I met my actual surgeon who was just lovely. He was amazing. I really trusted him, which was something that I was a bit scared about, going into surgery. I was like, how do you trust someone you just met? But he was really nice. And he came in about 8:30 in the morning and was like, we can probably do it today. Fast forward to 4 o'clock that afternoon. I got the surgery. Mortifying because he was saying that because I was sharing it on my stories, some people were saying, he was saying that people had recognised me in the hospital and were asking him if he was doing the surgery on me. And I don't know who that was, but when I read my medical notes and noticed that while I was under, they had inserted a catheter in my penis, I thought, fuck me dead if it's a scroller. If a scroller's putting me...
That's fucking mortifying.
I'm thinking as well, you're under anaesthetic. Is it looking a bit small or what? What's going
mortifying.
on? You know what I mean? You can't control it. So I'm thinking.
One of your followers looking at your dick hole.
I'm thinking I should have shaved before I You know what I mean?
No.
Tidied it up a bit. Anyway.
Fuck.
You never know. You don't know. But the point is, fucking mortifying if they were, but because I was under the impression that I wouldn't need a catheter because it's an hour and a half procedure, but what they do is it was keyhole, so there's 4 holes in my belly right now, getting recovering, but they actually pump you up with gas to make your belly really big so that you look pregnant, so that they can there's lots of room to do what they need to do in there.
This is so disturbing.
Right? So
and all of you nurses out there, what the fuck? How can you do this job in theatre and they fucking love it? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be spewing.
So basically they blow you up like a big balloon so that they can do all the work inside and then cover you up. And then they just seal all the gas in. And then
Surely they could just press your stomach down and be like... out the 4 holes.
Stop that.
Surely. What do you mean they just sew it back up?
Stop that.
Do they sew it or glue it?
I don't even know.
Do you have the glue or a stitch?
He said there were stitches, but the stitches were on the inside.
Oh, and they dissolve, yeah.
But you know what's really gross is they went through my belly button.
Nah.
So they've gone through my belly button and that's where they actually pull the gallbladder out of. Cause it's the biggest opening. No. They just untie your belly button and tie it back up together. Yeah, it's fucked.
The whole thing is
disturbing. Do you want to see my belly button?
No.
Okay. So, because it's currently got the it's currently still got the patch over it,
yeah.
and it's full of blood.
Ew.
So it's really bad. Anyway, so
you're making everyone vomit listening to this episode.
Sorry if you just had your breakfast, but welcome to High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat. I definitely was surprised at how quickly first of all, food in a private hospital, fucking delicious.
Ooh.
I had a roast dinner as good as my grandma's after surgery. I woke up from surgery, there's a whole roast dinner there, chicken and gravy and vegetables.
Yum.
And I was like, this is like grandma's Christmas Day roast. It was top tier. And then for breakfast, I had scrambled eggs, which I could tell they were done in the microwave.
And also, I don't know if you posted on your story or you sent a message or it was on your close friends, but you at one point had just toast.
Yes.
And you had lots of pieces of toast. And it was the most perfect looking toast I have ever seen. It was perfect. And you were like whinging on your story, like, oh, all I've got is toast. But that looked like the best toast I've ever seen.
Was that when I was still in hospital or at home? Was it just the plate or was it?
No, you were in hospital.
Oh, no, it wasn't toast. That was bread.
I swear it was toasted though.
Nah, that's what I was complaining about. It was rye, so it looked like it was toasted.
Oh.
But no, it was
looked
just
like the
bread.
perfectly toasted toast.
Nah.
And I was like, that looks fucking yum. And you were like, ugh. And I'm like, that looks great. But now it's bread.
It was
Nah,
bread.
that's boring.
Yeah. And then about 10 o'clock the next morning, I was able to go home, even after bleeding out all night.
Fucking
Which
yuck.
is just like, trust me. So she took the fluids out of my cannula. And
Do only guys get cannulas?
no, catheter is for the penis. And
Oh,
girls,
catheter.
people with vulvas can get catheters as well.
So anyone can get
yeah, anyone can get a catheter.
don't know
'cause that's
about this
for your
shit.
pee. So like if you're under and your body needs to wee, instead of just wetting the fucking surgery table, you goes through the catheter.
Just the thought of this.
The cannula is the thing that goes in your
right,
vein
yeah.
and injects.
Sorry, I don't know
you
the medical terms, people.
So the cannula, she's
Cannula,
taken out the
catheter.
fluids. The fluids have gone in me, and before I went to bed, she took out the cannula. Now, I don't know what happened here, but all night, that cannula then dripped blood, and I woke up in, like, this huge pool of blood all over the bed. Like, the nurses were scrambling, thinking, are you dead? And I was like, this is so weird, because, like, I didn't even feel this happening. There was so much blood, but there was no blood on me. We figured out, we think it came from my cannula that was down on my elbow, but... Anyway, then I went home and I've been in a world of pain and I've been having so many painkillers, which I just love, and I can so tell how they're addictive. Like, seriously. Like, oh, I can tell. I'm like, well, no wonder. Like, they're fucking great. The only thing is I really wish, you know what, things like this happening that are so random and rogue, which, by the way, sorry, going backwards, the surgeon basically came in the next day as I was being discharged and was like, yeah, so, like, your gallbladder, like, didn't really need to come out, but obviously we took it out anyway because we're already inside you. And I was like, yeah, but
at
like...
least you won't have the attacks
well,
anymore.
that's the thing. I was like, you don't understand. Like, I know it wasn't, like, a severe case, but, like, just given my job, like, I can't afford to have one of these happen when you're about to go around the country for 2 months. And I'm like, it's happening every 5 days. Like, the chances are, what would be so mortifying is if I'm in, like, Brisbane or something.
Imagine if you were on the stage. And
right? But I don't know whether being on stage you'd feel it because maybe the adrenaline is rushing through you while you're on stage. But my thing is, like, what if everyone's in the room? Because the thing is, you have no warning and it just comes on and then it goes just as quickly as well. And so you will just, like, I just remember sitting there in bed and being like, oh, my back feels sore. Oh, my stomach feels sore. Call an ambulance. It's about to happen. And then within a minute, Sky's not even talking to the person on 000. And I'm already in the shower naked with the fucking boiling water on my stomach, because that was what would help me, is like the warm water on my stomach, screaming the house down, not able to breathe, so much pain. So it comes on so quickly.
So you're on the mend, hopefully. You've come into the studio despite the fact that you're meant to be on 7 days bed rest.
Yeah.
You're taking one for the team.
Which also means I can't DJ that LimeWire dance party anymore, which is devastating. But I'm talking to them and I don't know what we're going to do, but I think we might reschedule the date. Because I said just cover my shift, just have someone else. But then they're like, but people have bought tickets to see you, you know? So we want you to be a part of it as
hopefully
much
they
as possible.
reschedule
So,
the whole event.
At this point of recording, we haven't figured that out. But also, this is coming out on Friday, so I'm sure we would have figured that out by now. And the answer will be on my socials if you're coming to that. But anyway, that was my week. It's been a hectic week. Hopefully no more hospital trips for me. I am so over it. And Prince of Wales knows me by name now. I love them. They're great. They've all done a great job. Don't have a bad thing to say about anyone at the Prince of Wales Hospital. They are icons.
Shout out.
But God, aren't you sick of me? Because I'm sick of you. You know what I mean?
Hopefully you'll never have to see them again.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is the last of my medical issues. I'm happy for it to end. And you know what? I'm happy for this episode to end too, because the painkillers... too much right now. I gotta go. I think I've got to go sit on the toilet, to be honest. Yeah, just for gas though. Just for gas.
Nice.
I just gotta sit at that angle and let it happen. I'm saying way too much. Let's wrap this up. Your job to wrap this up for me, because if I keep talking, I'll just keep exposing myself. Also, one thing is, can I just say?
Oh, here we go.
Because I was like a bit scared about getting the gallbladder out, and I was like, what's the difference, right? Like, what's going to happen to my life? There ain't going to be any changes. And everyone's like, oh, you're going to have diarrhea all the time. I'm like, I feel like I have diarrhea often. You know what I mean? Do you not?
How often?
Like, I can't say often.
Like multiple times a week often?
Oh, like at least once a week, I reckon.
No, I can't say that's me.
Really?
Yeah.
I just thought everyone like had diarrhea like often.
No, you're like maybe not everyone, but not me.
Okay. That's funny, but it reminds me of this Becky Lucas joke. She's a comedian here in Australia, and she had this joke that reminds me of that was like she went swimming in a public pool, and the public pool had a sign up that said, "You must not go swimming if you've had diarrhea in the last 2 weeks." And Becky Lucas's joke is like, I'm pretty sure like I'm always either side of 2 weeks of having diarrhea. Like, there's never a period of more than 2 weeks that I haven't had diarrhea.
I know that having diarrhea is like obviously not a good thing. Like it's bad, but like I like when I get diarrhea sometimes.
Okay. Okay. But
sometimes it's like feels like I've really like, cleansed it out. I
Babes.
know that it's not a good sign of health.
Babes,
But
I'm
sometimes
sorry,
when
I'm
you have a big
sorry.
diarrhea poo, it feels like you really
Oi.
emptied the tank.
because you'd rather have diarrhea than constipation. And let me tell you, as someone who's had to give themselves a manual evacuation, have you ever had to give, you would never have had to give yourself a manual evacuation.
No, what do you
so
do?
So when I had my kidney stones and had a lot of painkillers, I had too many painkillers and not enough. Actually, I was advised to take fibre, so I took like a fibre supplement.
Yeah, because when you have all those
that
drugs,
backed
it
me
clogs
up.
you up.
I had
hey?
like a football-sized brick in my ass, and
Nah.
I had to. It would not come out. It was so painful. I had to do a manual evacuation, which is where you put a glove on and put your fingers
Fuck
up
off.
your
Fuck
butt,
off.
and you
Fuck
snip
off.
it. You snip it like scissors, and you cut.
You cut your own poo?
You cut your poo inside your asshole, and you have to pull it out. Manual evacuation. That's what it is.
Why did you
Google
not-
it? Google it. I was so constipated from the painkillers. I hadn't gone to the toilet in like 8 days.
But why do you have to do it?
What do you mean? What you coming over to put your fingers up my bum and
I
scoop
would
it
not
out?
want to do that to myself. Like, put me to sleep and do it.
No. So we called the hospital to be like, so like, what do we do here? And she just said like, put a glove on and do it yourself. Like, you can come in and we can do it, but like, you may as well just do it yourself. It was like the clothes were off. I was sweating down the house. Like everything was.
Oh
was
my
all
God,
wrong.
this is so traumatic.
Yeah, it is. So if you take painkillers, be wary of that. I'm very wary of that this week. I'm having a lot of apple juice. And also, if you give birth, after giving birth, apparently the constipation, like a manual evacuation, is really common after birth. But anyway, thank you for joining us today. Hands up if you've ever had to do a manual evacuation. Email us.
Email
your
or DM,
story.
whatever's easier.
It's actually camp. Like, it's actually camp.
Fucking shoving your fingers up your ass and snipping your poo.
Yeah.
Is camp.
Yeah. Yeah, you literally
What do you mean? You have to put 2 fingers up your fucking ass. Stop.
2 fingers up.
Nah,
And you're going like this,
nah.
and you're scooping it out.
What, is your poo right there?
Yeah. Well, you're not sitting at your entrance or exit. Depends who you are, entrance or exit. But, you
Nah,
know, like,
nah.
but, yeah.
No.
Like, it was, okay, and I'll tell you the rest of it off air, because
Okay.
it's a bit full on.
We got to go. We're wrapping
Yeah.
up this episode, Matt.
Sorry about this. I'm sorry. I hope we haven't ruined your Good Friday.
As always.
At least you're not eating meat today, because your appetite's probably gone after that story. But anyway.
We always say what happens in close friends stays on close friends.
And this week we fucking mean it.
Yeah, so don't take this conversation anywhere else. And that's about it. We're just going to end it now.
We'll see you on Tuesday, dolls.